Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business edition, and we will end today with some SillyVille, so stick around for that. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch the show live, feel free to join us. Enjoy the madness. Let's go ahead and get on into the business news. First, Rocky Linux. So if you are unaware of Rocky Linux, this is CentOS is being sacrificed upon the altar of Red Hat. And so CentOS will no longer be a thing. CentOS 7 is, I think, still updated until 2024, if I remember correctly. And the next one in line is going to be your, I don't know. We'll see what happens from there. But Rocky Linux is by the creators of CentOS, and they are coming in and hoping to effectively replace CentOS. And they have started up a new company called CtlrQ, which is going to be a funding arm. So basically, all of the profits from CtlrQ are going to go into funding Rocky Linux. So details are still a little bit shaky, but with that, what they're doing here is they're positioning themselves as being cloud interfaces in between things like control servers and individual users and IoT devices. So basically like cloud control servers. Think of it maybe as Arduinos in the cloud. How's that? So that's what they're doing. And then all of this is to fund Rocky Linux. So keep an eye out for CtlrQ and how that will help fund a new alternative replacement to CentOS, which maybe most of you have not seen CentOS much as a desktop use, but it is wildly popular in the servers. Next, we have Apple. This is an all-in-one chat app, which is actually cross-platform, actually brings iMessage to Android. So anybody that really is excited about using iMessage instead of something else like Signal, this one all-in-one chat app called Beeper can bring a variety of different chat platforms into one standalone application, which can work on Android and I believe Windows 10 and I don't know, maybe a few other places as well. Users, let's see, Beeper, let's have a look at what else we can see here. But they have WhatsApp, why would you bother? SMS, oh Lord. Signal, there you go. Telegram, hashtag delete Telegram. Slack, Twitter, oh Lord. Skype, oh boy. Hangouts, how old is this thing? Discord, Instagram, and Facebook Messenger into a single searchable inbox. Most striking support is the Apple's iMessage that is only officially available on Apple devices. So if you do have to have a need for iMessage, please get better friends who you know to use other things. Oh, I'm sorry. You can use this particular application. However, I'm a little bit concerned about this type of thing, but nevertheless, it's worth looking into in the event you happen to need to use iMessage in some instance, one way or the other. MagSafe. Apple reminds users don't hold iPhones near pacemakers. Apparently, it's not just the MagSafe. There's something in the iPhone 12 that causes pacemakers to go a little crazy. So, if you happen to know people with pacemakers, make sure they're not setting their phone on their chest while they're doing something. That can definitely mess up their pacemakers. So, how exciting. Isn't that so joyful, folks? Isn't it so joyful? We're going to start seeing fun stuff there. And there's of course the thing in there. It's like clear. So there we have it. If you have an iPhone, keep that iPhone away from your thumper support. There we have it. Instacart will lay off all of its unionized workers. I smell a lawsuit coming here. I really do. So some of the Instacart employees, a good several hundred, if not thousand of them, all banded together and actually voted and passed a union. And then wouldn't you just know it, before that union has a chance to take place when they're still negotiating their very first contract, Instacart goes through huge layoffs despite their business exploding because of the coof. And they laid off absolutely everybody who voted for the union. I smell a lawsuit. If you got stock in Instagram, guys, get out now. That's not financial advice. But holy crap. This is just like, I read this looking for the lawsuit, and I didn't see any reference to a lawsuit. 10 employees who voted to form the first and only union on the grocery delivery platform at Marino's grocery store in Skokie, Illinois, and inspired other Instacart employees to organize their co-workers at grocery stores around the country. Decision to terminate the employees who unionized with the State Food and Commercial Workers Local 1546 in Skokie early 2020 as part of a larger series of layoffs that Instacart announced on Tuesday. News was buried in a blog post, and the layoffs impacted Instacart's in-store shoppers who are direct employees of the company that pick and pack groceries at the supermarket around the country. According to UFCW, Instacart is firing nearly 2,000 of its 10,000 grocery store workers as part of the layoffs and offering as little as $250 in severance. I have not had a kick in the nards like that since a $600 stimulus check. Layoffs amid some of them in rapid expansion due to the coup, as millions of people have turned to on-demand grocery. Let's see. The company reported profitability for the first time in 2020, preparing for the IPO later on, estimated to be valued at $30 billion. Not if they get a giant lawsuit for firing everybody who voted to unionize. Sorry, you guys want to unionize? Like that's more heavy-handed than Amazon. Less subtle, too. 5G boxes. You guys like 5G? Some people like 5G. Some people are like, this stuff's of the devil. We don't know. Well, regardless, 5G boxes are coming to people's homes, whether they want them or not. A unwelcome lawn ornament courtesy of Verizon. It turns out that Verizon is planting boatloads of these 5G antenna boxes, just installing them in people's front yards because a permit costs like $300 or something. They've been installing boxes as part of its 5G network since 2019. Let's see. Boxes are known as ground fixtures. They supply power and data to 5G antennas. They are placed on utility poles nearby. The ones gracing people's front view windows are being built up as Verizon's 5G home internet service. It's well known at this point that the millimeter wave tech is blazing fast, but it also has a terrible range. So here's streamlined 5G build-outs, puts ground furniture in Houston front yards. Look at that thing. Now, I'm not sure how far they're standing away from that. I mean, I'm not, because it's very possible that they're standing, if they're standing like 20 feet back, that box could be like, 6 inches high or something. And no, it's not based on this meter and stuff. But that is a fairly sizable thing to show up in people's front yards without anything. Technically, the boxes and utility poles go with them are installed in the right-of-way, which is land owned by the county. The permit to place them are $300. They used to be $2,700 before a law was passed by the state of Texas in 2017. But basically, yeah, you guys over there in Houston, you're getting some big old 5G boxes in your front yard. I hope you enjoy your new lawn ornament. I'd be over there wrapping that thing in aluminum foil every night. We can't figure out why our box isn't doing anything, sir. Yeah, it looks like an AC unit. It does, but at least they put the AC unit on the side of the things. How would you like this one here, guys? Sony adds HDMI to last year's Android phone. Doesn't change anything else. It just adds an HDMI port and charges $2,500. Were they deranged? If you are paying $2,500 for a smartphone, I have some stuff to sell you, okay? I mean, really. It doesn't fold. It doesn't do anything fancy. It just has an HDMI port. There you go. Doesn't look like it has a headphone jack. It does look like a nice phone. I mean, I'll grant that. And I'll tell you, looking at the front of it here, if this is the camera up above the bezel and it's not giving me notches, I might actually want to buy one of these as long as it's not $2,500. But holy crap. None of this explain. Let's see. Let's go ahead and read what they wrote here in this paragraph. It seems a lot like the Xperia 1, Sony's already $1,300 smartphone from 2020. Have 6.5-inch screen, almost 4K, 38 by 40. An OLED display, Snapdragon 865, 3 rear cameras, 4,000 milliamp battery. This year, they get the bump up to 12 gigabytes of RAM. That is pretty massive. I gotta say, 12 gigs of RAM on a phone is pretty wicked. And 512 gigabytes of storage. That's only usually worth $100 extra. There's 5G in it this year. 2 app shortcut buttons on the side and a shutter button. They're very nice. And adds an extra $1,000. $2,500. That's insane. And on to our feature story. I know you've been thinking, what in the world's going on with this chatting with the dead? Yes, Microsoft is now joining necromancy and raising your loved ones from the dead with a new bot. Now, mind you, this is the company that brought us Tay, the Nazi Twitter bot, that literally started screaming legitimate bad stuff. Like, if Alex Jones spewed the things that Tay was spewing, I would understand deplatforming. He's just a nutcase. He doesn't do that. This Tay bot from Microsoft was insane. But now Microsoft has it all figured out. They have patented a chat box that could imitate a dead loved one, celebrity, or even a fictional character. How are they doing this, you ask? Very fascinating question. They are doing this by scooping up the personalities of real people based upon social media profiles and other things. Guys, once again, an exact statement said in Google's Selfish Ledger. If you have not watched the video, Selfish Ledger, look it up today. It is terrifying to see what Google is doing in the Selfish Ledger. And this is one of the things they're doing. Nobody ever dies. They just become part of the blockchain of all humanity that you can access who they are. So according to documents from the U.S. Patent and Trademarks Office, the chatbot would be created through information that could be easily gathered on social media, images, voice data, behavioral information, social media posts, and text messages. It could even take on a physical presence. The documents show which plans for 2- and 3-dimensional recreations of people gathered through photos and videos of the individual. While Microsoft's patent does not specifically say that the product will be used to bring deceased people back to life digitally, the plan does use dead loved ones as an example of how the chatbot could be implemented to recreate and imitate individuals from the real world. So we have this problem in our society where people are becoming very, very mentally ill, and it's happening all over the place. And keeping somebody alive beyond the grave through social media posts and this AI technology so you can continue to chat with your dead parents long after they've died, this is insane, and it's going to lead to this, because what you need to move beyond all of this, you need closure. Closure does not happen when you continue to chat your dead parents after they're dead. You need closure. You need to move beyond. You need to build up a life beyond it. This is stunting people's mental health. Quote, the specific person may correspond to a past or present entity or a version thereof, such as a friend, relative, acquaintance, a celebrity, a fictional character, historical character, a random entity, etc. The patent reads. So we can continue to chat with people who have already died. We can start formulating a deeper relationship with a person who's not here on this planet. This is insane. This is insane. Yeah. So Microsoft enables chatting with the dead. This is terrifying. Well, if you'd like to prevent Microsoft from scooping up some of this data, sounds like a Ben Shapiro line in there. But if you do happen to need a VPN, have a look at ExpressVPN, tlm.li/EV. For my affiliate code, you can click on the Get Started button up here and find the plan that works out for you. This is one of the greatest VPNs that we have out right now. Works on all sorts of devices. and allows you to connect to a variety of different servers all around the world, so you can connect from and to anywhere that you might need. So have a look at ExpressVPN if you are in need of a VPN, and utilizing my affiliate link there will help support the channel. So let's go ahead and visit SillyVille next, as if that last Microsoft story wasn't silly enough. And on to SillyVille. Well, Bernie didn't get the president, but he did get a lot of money. The socialist guy who hates capitalism made a whole lot of money selling the meme shirt. So this is Bernie Sanders' official campaign store. They had the Bernie Sanders crew neck shirt here for $45, is sold out. So there we have it. Even the communists are benefiting by free market capitalism. Go figure, guys. Go figure. We're in a clown world. BLM is nominated for the Peace Prize. Oh boy, it's getting interesting. Deactivation of Flash actually may have crippled the Chinese railroad for a day. So yes, the Chinese railroad system was still dependent on a Flash application. Apparently the Great Firewall of China was preventing them from knowing that Flash was being disabled. And like, that was news 2 years ago, something like that. Long time coming. But Flash dies, and yeah, China's entire train system shut down for a day. And that, to my understanding, is the biggest form of transport over in China. So there we have it, guys. You got to stay up on that latest technology, I'm telling you. Well, if talking to the dead wasn't good enough, how about having a walk to your celebrities? So Apple adds walking with celebrities to Fitness Plus features. So you can have amazing conversation strolls with Shawn Mendes or Dolly Parton. The idea here isn't like an interactive necessarily. It can be an okay idea. It's just a little silly, which is why it's here. The idea is you're like, okay, I'm going to go for a walk. And in order to entertain you for your walk and make sure you walk for the length of time you should be walking, you get a sign track with whatever your artist is, with intersperses songs and inspirational quotes and messages and this person speaking. So apparently you're going to get close to your celebrity friends and whatever else. So there's Dolly Parton. I mean, I don't know who Dolly Parton is, but who's this other dude? Who's this Shawn Mendes dude? I'm not out of touch with reality, apparently. Is this Shawn Mendes? Weird. Anyway, you can go ahead and you can sign up for the Plus features in Fitness Plus, and you can have the inspirational conversation with your favorite guys. Okay, good enough. Well, Google Play bans a video app for having the standard .ass subtitle support. I just think they should have called it the .donkey support and see if anybody got it. Advanced substation alpha files, or a naughty word for butt. Who knows? So their automated app review process strikes again. The actual thing, of course, is the advanced substation file type .ass file. And inside of their system, they got a flag because under the subtitles SRT, SSA, ASS, TTML, and VTT. And the Google Play Store told them it doesn't comply with the sexual content and profanity profile because of the the extension. Like I said, call it .donkey with the advanced substation and see if anybody ever catches on. I mean, that would just be the best way to handle it. So there we have it, guys. The Google Play Store strikes again. They did a good end of the story. They appealed it. They explained it, and it is now back in the policy with that description there. So if you guys happen to have like teenage boys or something, they'll be downloading going, oh, look, it says ASS. Oh, oh. So, you know, the old George Carlin thing. Oh, well, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Well, I know 2020 was hard. We all want to get back in a regular society. Don't worry, guys. The new normal is here because you can now head on over to your concerts in your space bubbles. By the way, this is a little bit flashy, so warning on epilepsy type stuff. But here, if you're able to see this picture, you see family unit groups inside of these plastic bubbles enjoying a socially distanced, isolated concert because we've lost our ever-loving mind. We've lost our ever-loving mind. The capsules were equipped with a speaker. So everyone comes into your socially distanced place, and then the bubbles all blow up, and now you get to experience your own socially distanced, bubbled. Like, this is like Bubble Boy to the extreme. People, if you're this terrified of some disease with a 99.9999 repeating survival rate, maybe you shouldn't be going to a concert. I know if you're elderly, it increases to something like 1 to 5%. But for the average person, he ain't gonna die of the coof, yo. Oh Lord, I paused to see that coming back. That's terrifying. So yeah, we have rock concerts inside of space bubbles. That's exciting. Well, if you want to help support this nonsense channel, you can head on over, have a look over at our Patreon page, patreon.com/TomM. That's TOMM. This actually supports my Linux, my Christian, and my writing work. All three channels are over there. So you can head on over there if you would like to help support the channel. With that, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.